Yes, people, what's going on? Seagull Talks Football. We are back again with another video. Today, I got a wonderful panel for you guys, and more will be joining as the show continues. I got Gunnar Souls in the building. I got Deo coming out of retirement. Where has he been for the last couple weeks? Nobody knows. We got Dylan here, actually happy for once, not really upset. For once, he's buzzing.
Well, am I not happy?
Dylan, come on. Most of the time, you're frustrated. Let's not lie.
There's a lot to be frustrated about.
There you go. Even you agree with me. And then we got Gunnar Souls, of course. Gunnar Souls, man, you've been on a rampage ever since you've been filling in for me on Husam's channel. You've been fighting everybody, saying some crazy takes. Honestly, been hilarious. It's honestly been hilarious. But yeah, you know what it is? The last, I'll say, since 10 days ago, I have had nonstop so much stuff going on. But it's nice to have a moment where you just sit back, relax, and you know your club signed the player you wanted your club to sign. How many times have we gone into a summer transfer window and we wanted a player and we didn't end up getting them? From the Julian Drexlers to the freaking Higuains to the Benzemas to everything. And we're gonna get to Berta in a second. Don't worry. But how many players, guys, have we wanted in the past that we didn't end up getting? How many strikers? How many forwards? I could just name so many different players we've been linked to over the years that we've been linked to for the whole window and never got. Remember the whole saga with Husam Awar? Remember the whole saga with Dusan Vlahovic recently? Alexander Isak? Honestly.
I mean, Luis Suarez is the biggest one, but yeah.
Luis Suarez, what the hell were we smoking giving them £1 more? Imagine if we gave them 5 million more. Luis Suarez would have been an Arsenal player, right?
A striker of our generation, yeah.
I mean, to be fair, technically we didn't do the wrong thing, but we don't need to get into it.
Talk about it, guys. How you guys feeling?
I'm gassed. We've finally got someone who's going to get the ball when he receives it and slap it off rather than looking for all kinds of silly options and all X, Y, Z. Yeah, it's relieving, man. It's relieving.
There's just a few things that I'm happy about, which is the club now realizes that they needed to get somebody more experienced, and they brought in Berta. And I said let's just let the guy cook and do what he needs to do. As much as I'm excited about the fact that he's fixed one of the 3 issues we had last season, which is we didn't have a striker. That was one of the main issues. The second issue was squad depth. We didn't have that. There's something else he's addressing right now. I mean, the guy has signed 6 players already. Arsenal has actually signed, I've not seen this in a very long time. I don't think people understand that we have 6 new players that are going to play regardless. They're going to play a number of games, either in the FA Cup, the Carabao Cup, in the Premier League, or in the Champions League, and they are also there for injury. You know, last season I heard how we all screamed, we don't have a striker, we don't have a striker, we don't have a striker. Now it's been addressed. And again, some people are still moving the goalposts down and saying, "No, well, now we don't have a left winger." And I'm like, no. That was not your complaint last season. Let's give kudos where kudos is. The man has done his business. He's brought in a goalkeeper. He's brought a goalkeeper where I'm talking about just the transfer window. Let's give kudos to Berta. It's his first season.
When you said that, I thought you were talking about the Tottenham player.
No. Kudos. Not kudos. But here's what I'm saying: like his first summer, his first transfer window, he's fine. He got us a goalkeeper that is not cup tied. Thank God, we don't have to run Raya into the ground. We complain about Bukayo Saka not having a backup. We now actually have somebody who is a profile like him, maybe not as good as him, but left-footed right wing player that can play across the front 3, but can also give Saka a lot of rest. You know, I may not like him as much, but his stats say different. So we have that cover now in midfield. We still, again, let's not forget that we still have Mikel Merino, who we had from before as a squad depth. We now have Norgard. We have Zubimendi. We have Rice. We have Ødegaard. Isanu Nwaneri signed a new deal. We might see Max Daumann coming through. We never know in some of these smaller games. Like, I'm looking at the squad now, and I'm seeing a lot of squad depth. I'm seeing a lot of, players that I know that can actually play in all the smaller games. And that makes me happy because last season, the minute we got injured, that was it. The minute we had injuries, that was it. And it's not an excuse. Every team has injuries. You need to prepare for this. So I'm glad that we're signing more and more players. and players that I feel like, you know what, regardless, can do something on the pitch. You know, not a massive drop off from who is actually going to be playing first. If Gyökeres has to rest in a Carabao Cup and it's Havertz that has to play 9 in a Carabao Cup, I'm happy to do that. And I don't want to hear this, oh, you guys paid 65 million for Havertz to put him on the bench. Yes, Jack Grealish is a 100 million player who was on the bench for City. Nobody complained. So I don't want to hear that. If you're a big club, act like if you want to let me rephrase it. If you want to be a big club, act like a big club. If you have to put your expensive players on the bench and bring somebody better in, do it.
Facts.
I agree. I agree. And also, I think the signing Mosquera has gone very underrated as well. I think what he'll bring in terms of depth for like the likes of Saliba and Gabriel.
Exactly.
And, like, again, I'm not.
You know what? We're going to talk about all the signings in a bit, but before we go any further,
good things.
But before we go any further, I just want to finish off this little introduction part. How's everyone feeling initially about the fact that now Viktor Gyökeres is done? Souls, how you feeling?
You know what? I'm elated, man. I'll be honest, I was getting really bored of reading reports every single 10 seconds. You know, this has now happened. He's gone here. He's flying here. Oh, he's coming to Arsenal. Leaked photos. All of that. It was getting a bit boring, I'll be honest. I just wanted to see a conclusion. Whoever it was, I got to the point I didn't even care who it was anymore because we needed to conclude the number 9. And I think now that we've got our here we go and, you know, Orny bombers and all of this sort of stuff, other than the Arsenal announcement, which will happen soon anyway. I mean, this is a sign of things to come. We don't have to get into it now because we'll get into it later, but, you know, this is what Berta does. And me and Gal, you know, we've spoken about this at length. I've told you, just give Berta time. This guy will absolutely cook. This guy is a mercenary when it comes to transfers and negotiations. He's an Italian mafia boss. I'm telling you, he goes in there with the machine gun. You better be ready because the guy will demand any negotiation. So I'm happy. Like, you know, this is what a proper sporting director gets you. You know, he went in there and said, oh, you guys want Sesko? Nah. I want Gyökeres. We're going to get it done. And that's the reality. And that's what we asked for. You know, it'll be disingenuous of me as a fan saying just because I was favoring a Sesko move to now go back on my words. I wanted a guy to challenge the status quo. And that's what's happened.
Big up hand of Arsenal. And big up
massively, man. Like I said, Andrea Berta is the biggest thing that could happen to this project. And this is exactly what we needed. We couldn't have Edu and Arteta running this boat because we needed an experienced head. And now he's got an experienced striker who's got a bag of gold. Yes, I may have my concerns and those concerns may be nonsense. That's fine. Like, I'm not going to sit here and retract everything I said. It's an absolutely incredible signing. And I'm excited as hell to get this started, man. And welcome to the club, Viktor Gyökeres.
I don't think any Arsenal fan is
title's coming.
Sorry to cut you off, brother. I don't think any Arsenal fan is not excited. We just heard from Dylan.
Do you know what's even more incredible? Like, when have we, like, forget Arsenal, when in the world of football have we seen someone give up 10 million euros to make a move happen? That is insane. I'm going to say it here. If he delivers the Champions, and I mean he has to be key to this, if he delivers a Champions League and a Premier League to Arsenal in his time here, I can back it that a statue or something gets made.
I knew he was going to say it. I knew it.
Don't go too far. Let's chill.
I said if. I'm not saying he will. I'm saying if he does.
You know something?
But again,
legendary.
Again, even if he does that, I don't think I would say a statue to him.
You know what? Let's enjoy it.
Unless he's the one who carries the.
Yeah, please.
No, that's why I said it has to be key. It has to be a big part. That's what I said.
It has to be, and this is why. This is one of the things that I like. I talk about, like, if you look at if the team clicks, then everybody will look good. That's the bottom. It's a team sport, regardless of whether you like it or not. If the team clicks, everybody will look good for this, right? And that's the key thing.
No. But there's always going to be players who just.
Let me add to what he said. It's not only about Gyökeres, it's also about his agent. His agent, it made this deal happen more than anybody else. He literally forgoes some of his own earnings to make this deal happen. We're probably gonna have to we could probably sign another one of his players in the foreseeable future, and maybe that's where he makes the money back. But best believe, when you work with these super agents, sometimes you get good things, and in the background, it might help you out later on, get you another player that you want. because they have a large network of players. But yeah, what you saying? What you saying? What do you call it? The African Gunner. How you feeling?
I'm really, really excited. I would say that I'm really proud right now as an Arsenal fan. I think I was one of the Arsenal fans that really, tried to keep everyone calm and was always kind of reflective of the work that we had done. I think a lot of people still feel, even with the Gyökeres signing, that we haven't done enough. And as an Arsenal fan that has gone through, I think, probably 40 different transfer windows, I think this by far has been very different to any I've ever seen us do. And that's primarily, as Sol said, thanks to Andrea Berta and the approach that we've taken. And also, let's not forget the owners, Josh Kroenke, right? And the Kroenke is putting in the money and backing the manager again with the money, right? So they made the funds available and we're spending it correctly, in my opinion. I think a lot of fans forget that it's not just about the incomings, but it's also the contract extensions. And then hopefully we'll see some really, really good sales. On the Gyökeres stuff, I mean, personally for me, I think, like Sol said, I was always open for either Sesko and Gyökeres. I think primarily, and from some of the information that we were being given, it was very obvious at first that Sesko was always the plan. We waited over a year for him. We had multiple conversations with him, and really he was the guy that we wanted to go for. And clearly RB Leipzig kind of just canned that deal because of their stubbornness. And Andrea Berta had relationships with Gyökeres and his agents because he wanted to bring him to Madrid, and that's when we first got linked with Gyökeres. Gyökeres is the finished article. He was the one that we wanted to come in and that was going to hit the ground running, whereas we felt like Sesko was going to be the one that still needed time, and he was probably the one that was closer to Havertz and like the upgrade on Havertz as maybe a more all-round player. But Gyökeres is the one that's going to sniff in the box, and when you get that one chance, he's going to score. And that's where we are as a team right now. We are at the stage where, we can play against low blocks and we just need to win by, 1-0 goal line margin. And we need that player that's going to put it in the back of the net 9 out of 10 times, especially when he's 1v1. And that's something, unfortunately, Kai Havertz and Gabriel Jesus do not bring us. And Martinelli sometimes struggles in that facet as well. So I'm really, really excited for Gyökeres. I think that he's going to be able to raise the level of a lot of the other players are surrounding. People talk about Martinelli not being at the level, right? People are saying Ødegaard didn't have a great season, which is true. And I do believe that this season with Gyökeres, you're going to see improvements in Martin Ødegaard. You're going to see improvements in Martinelli. You're going to see improvements in Saka. And that is the whole point of having a top squad and bringing in top players. It's to raise the level of all the other players. Like, as we said, Banter on pitch said, it's a team sport at the end of the day, right? You can have all these, fancy players, but at the end of the day, it's all about the chemistry and the gelling of the team. And for me, it's going to be really...
The biggest thing they've done is brought Zubimendi in to help Ødegaard. Now, a lot of people are so underselling the Zubimendi deal because what he brings to this team is exactly what Africa Gunner is saying. I think it's the same way Gyökeres has certain impacts. I feel like Martinelli gets unleashed because of Zubimendi's ability to vertically pass both ways, and I think that's what something a lot of players have certain abilities that go one way. They're either very biased to their right or to their left, whereas Zubimendi is very much so a player who can go both ways. And he's also very double-footed and comfortable with both feet. And I think that's what, for me, and obviously alongside the Gyökeres, and if Eze comes in, plays like that, it's how the team is now being transformed to being so much more independent of each other, but working together.
Absolutely. So a couple more...
Okay, go on.
Are you saying Zubimendi is going to improve our attack? Is that what you're saying?
What I think he's saying, what I think Souls is saying is that Ødegaard is not going to have the responsibility to come as deep and collect the ball and then try to progress us. Zubimendi is now going to be that player that gives it to Ødegaard in the final third, and then he can do his magic, right?
Ødegaard's best season came in when he played the 10 in a 4-2-3-1. And I think that's going to get replicated a bit more.
Yeah, I'll give an example. Against a lot of teams that played us low block last season, you would see where Ødegaard, the captain, would have to drop in deep just to go collect the ball and then try to progress the ball against a team that is playing a low block, who are not going to come out anyways in the first place. So now he's having to do all that work. But with Zubimendi, we've seen how he plays. If he's used correctly, he should be able to receive the ball from the goalkeeper, from the defense, and progress that ball all the way almost to the final third, give it to Ødegaard to make something happen. Again, a striker that we said this last season, 14 draws. In those draws, a striker would have won us at least 6 or 7 of those games. We just needed one goal margin. That's all we needed. But we just couldn't break down low blocks. So I'm glad we have a striker. I'm glad that we're beefing up the team when it comes to squad. whereby if somebody gets injured, we're not depending on Mikel Merino this time around to be a striker. You know, I'm not saying he didn't do a good job, but it took away from what he could have done for the team in the role that he plays very comfortably. Again, we then had to rely, you know, on other players to play that position, which is crazy. So hopefully
I disagree. I think Marino probably had a better output in striker than he probably would have had.
No. I agree with you, but you see again in hindsight we can say that because we saw what he did as a striker. But if he didn't score those goals, we'll be sitting here right now saying, "Look at us. We actually had to play a DM as a striker." Right?
Yeah, you know the funny thing is though, the heat map for Ødegaard is almost similar from 2022-2023 till last season. He plays in the same area. It's just he has more of his he has majority of his touches in the same area.
All right, but can I tell you why it'll change and the reason why I emphasize the sort of 4-2-3-1 in an instant. The reason is Ødegaard has always been the guy to press. Now what you get is because you brought in Zubimendi, someone who's a lot more comfortable sitting in deep and doing a lot of that dogged work at the back, you allow Rice to also be unleashed to press. You allow Martinelli to press forward. And that's kind of where the changes come in, is the emphasis won't be on Ødegaard to consistently press first, because you'll have a lot more players joining that attack, moving a bit more forward, because you've not got the emphasis of coming back as much. And I think that's where also the Cristhian Mosquera signing comes into it and actually adds a whole new dynamic to the team, because you can also put him in and go into the 3-back when we're actually transitioning in the game. So it's about understanding the amount of ways that we can actually play because of the players we've signed. And one thing that also gets added to this is you can actually start to rest Ødegaard and his pressing even later in games by bringing a Ødegaard on. I know people may not rate the signing, but it adds so many depths to the squad, and we don't lose things because.
Let me ask you once again. Are we saying Ødegaard is the one player? 1 second, bro. Let me just get this in quick. Are we saying Ødegaard is the player who's going to get the most benefit from Gyökeres' signing?
Not just Ødegaard.
Not him, but like there's other players.
Igal, the whole squad. This is why I said it's a team sport. We can't just narrow it down to Ødegaard all of a sudden is going to become a great player because Zubimendi is there. That's not what this is about. It's about what Zubimendi does as a player, right? So we've seen him play. We see that he's very good under pressure. He holds the ball very well when he receives the ball very, very well under pressure and releases the ball really quickly as well. And he's always his first thing is forward passing. Ødegaard, who's good with the little 1-2 touches, the give and go, the finding the final pass in the final third, can now release himself and just stay up there. Hopefully that's the plan, right? But we'll see. We'll see how the team gels together again. This is not about all of a sudden Ødegaard is now going to become the greatest midfielder. No, that's not what this is about. The only last season, coming second, losing all those, drawing all those games, we conceded the least goals. Again, two seasons back to back. You know where we had the problem? Up front, not actually putting the ball in the back of the net. We conceded the least goals even against the champions. They conceded more goals than we did, which means that we've worked on something, which is our defense is good. Our defensive midfield was very okay, with Thomas Partey and everybody doing what they needed to do. Declan running the channels and coming back and defending. But now that we have a Zubimendi, you have a Miles Lewis-Skelly that can actually invert with him, allowing Zubimendi to either go forward or Skelly go forward, and you can play a 3 at the back. We'll see how it works. Again, Gyökeres being a goal poacher, somebody who knows where the back of the net is important. You get to the front there, you release the ball to him, he takes his half chance, you win 1-0, and you go and use your defense. And I think that's what any smart manager should do this season. You know, you have a better defense than most teams. I'm not saying you are the best right now. We'll see how the season kicks off, but use that to your advantage. You score a goal or two, and you lock it off.
We'll finally have somebody in the box, and I think that's one of the most crucial things. I'm just going to show you guys this. This is Gyökeres' heat map for his last 2 seasons in the Portuguese league. As you can see, majority of the red in the box. And if I show you even for his country, he is the main man in the box for his country, even though Alexander Isak plays with him. He's one of the main guys in the box at all times. So that is crucial. Think about how many times Bukayo Saka, Martin Ødegaard, Martinelli, anybody in the team creates a chance and it goes across the goal and nobody's in the box to get a touch on it. That is crucial. But Dylan, how you feeling? I know you're one of the guys who was advocating for Gyökeres. You're very excited that we got Gyökeres. What do you think he's going to bring to our game?
Well, like I mentioned before, those games where we were drawing, so many games where we drew last season. I think that one chance that we're going to get now, it changes a lot. The amount of extra points we'll pick up having someone as lethal as Gyökeres. And just even beyond Gyökeres, I mean, you also brought up a graphic about 10 minutes ago with all of the players we've signed this window, who's going to be the last one. We've also signed Lewis Skelly, Gabriel. Those 2 new contracts to the mix. Is there anyone else I missed?
And Saka's pretty much done. He'll be the highest paid player.
Ethan as well. Ethan Nwaneri.
Sorry,
are we gonna give Saka Saliba a new deal?
Yeah, Saliba will sign a new deal. Yeah,
it's not they're working on it.
It's not confirmed yet. I mean, we'll see. But I mean,
that's
the
what
hope is
they're
that
working
he
on
will.
it. So
did you say Saka before that?
Yeah, it's done.
Well, yeah.
It's been
Yeah,
done.
so this is the window so far. Fantastic window, to say the least.
Yeah, they're working on Saka's deal and Saliba. They have just the
Saka one is done.
Oh, it's done now. It's done. Okay, I didn't realize.
It's not officially done, but it's done, and it's going to be 300K. He's going to be the highest paid player. So it's just when the club want to announce it.
Okay. So I didn't know that. I knew they were working on it, and I knew that they were working to make him the highest.
If you looked, I think some journalists reported it about a month ago, like Sami Mokbel, some of the top ones talked about it. But since then, it's been really quiet. And also, when Saka spoke in his press conference, right, you saw what he said, right? I'm not worried, etc. So it's very clear. I think it's just when the club want to announce it, but it's done.
All right, cool stuff.
Let's quickly go back to what Dylan was saying. Dylan, what do you think? Are you saying all time or window so far?
All timer. I think right now we're sat on a good window. The thing with Arsenal is over the years we've had good windows. I just love us to go and make it great, legend. That extra signing of an Eze would just be the lovely. Thank you, Arsenal. You've actually gone out there. You've got the centre back that we needed to back up Gabriel and Saliba. You've gone and added the 2 replacement midfielders for the 2 midfielders that have left. We're going to have Marino back in midfield, obviously, this season. They've finally gone and got a striker. They got a winger, whether he's
the right one is
maybe he turns out good, maybe he doesn't. We've got a winger. Can we get a better one to add to that and better attacking depth? And they renewed the contract. Like I said, that final signing of an Eze, we won't get Rodrygo.
Again, this is one of the things that is funny. I like Eze. I think that an Eze signing would also be very important. But now we've moved the goalpost again. Now, how many? For those of you that have seen multiple summers of transfers, which transfer summer have you seen where Arsenal has been this busy? Give me 1 year, and I'm not talking about just bringing in Ozil, or bringing in Thomas Partey at the end of the season, or signing what's his name from Barcelona, Alexis Sanchez, the one-off. I'm saying, tell me.
I agree. I think the 18-19 window.
Yeah, this is the one time in the last maybe 10, 15 years that I can point at and say we've actually gone out, and the players that we have brought in are not miles away from the players who will be playing first team game. They're not a drop off. We don't have a Sambi Lokonga coming in for a Zubimendi.
Yeah,
right. This is the first.
What about?
This is the first time I'm saying, listen, hold on, sorry. You can say what you want about Kepa, but he's a Premier League proven goalkeeper that has experience. You might not like his temperament, you might not like what he's done in Chelsea, or the way he looks, or the way he talks, or his attitude. Very different from what he does. Very different from what he does on the pitch, though. If Raya is out resting and Kepa is in goal, I'm not super panicking.
Doesn't need a rest, man.
No. Right, I'm saying, I'm just saying for I
used to play in goal. I used to do 2 games.
Theo, I don't want to go too far into analyzing each signing. I want to stay back on this one, and I'm just gonna quickly point out. You guys all seen this video from Mazu Skelly. Somebody posted Mazu Skelly getting gassed about the signing of Gyökeres. The players are getting gassed. And don't forget, he's not only a player, he's obviously a fan also of Arsenal Football Club from young. So he's getting hyped also. I think this gives the whole club a boost in morale. They have another player that can help them. And the defenders are probably the most excited, because how many times have we had clean sheets or really good defensive performances and we've absolutely thrown it away? Yeah, continue.
It's one of the defenders. It's
Josh Nichols. That's Josh Nichols.
That's his personal page. But No, well, what it goes to show is that obviously people sit around and they talk about, Sesko would be good for this because he's better in the air and we do this many crosses per 90 and blah, 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 and all this nonsense. But at the end of the day, right, the players understand football more than any of us idiots. So they really get it. You know what I mean? They understand.
Yeah.
They know they know best. You know what I'm trying to say? And they realistically, at the end of the day, they're the fact that you can see one of our best defenders there, happy to see that he's signed. And we played against Gyökeres this season. They'll know. You know what I'm trying to say? So
everybody knows. I mean, he's like the most.
Dylan, you know what makes me laugh? Let me just say this. Somebody actually said to me, "Oh, you guys are signing the player who doesn't know how to head the ball," and I laughed and I said, "How many headers did Henry score?" Like,
I'm sorry. How am I supposed to know Philly is Josh Nicholas? That's his personal Instagram.
I was like, do me a favor. Tell me how many headers Henry scored when he was. Is like, let's not do this. It's like the idea that we are.
He also came out, Deo, and said that the only reason why he didn't score so many headed goals was because his crosses were not good. The delivery was not that good.
Well, again, that's my point, though. Whether or not they're good, the point is you know the strength of the player that you have, so you play to his strength. You know that he takes, like, you know, Gyökeres will take a half chance and put it in the back of the net. So why cross him the ball? Why not put it to feet? Like, do you understand what I'm saying? Like, there's no any manager who does not. Again, we saw Pep do this with Haaland. He brought Haaland in, and the team played to Haaland's strength, thereby giving Haaland the opportunity to shine. So we can't sit here and people just want to paint it. And this is why whenever it's about Arsenal and people just don't want to talk football, like as though the club is so stupid and they're not going to play to the strength of players that they brought in. We bring in a Christian Ødegaard who, as a defensive midfielder, scores a lot with his head. We know this. We saw him do it last season, right? So if we're playing another team and Ødegaard is on the pitch, then you can play to his strength if you're trying to score a corner kick or whatever. But if you're playing, you know, in transition or you're countering or you're controlling the game and you're hitting the team hard, then you play to your striker's strength. That's all it is.
Yeah. You know what? I think people are overdoing this whole, you have to change everything. The whole team is going to be different. Everything's going to be different. We're over dramatizing it. Let's not forget, we've had Jesus in this team, Havertz in this team, Mikel Moreno playing as the 9. Who else have we had playing as the 9? Trossard playing as the 9. Was there even a game Havertz played as the 9? We've had Martinelli play as a 9. We've had so many different guys play as a 9 throughout the season. We're obviously not going to play the same way with every single player.
They think Arteta spent all of this money on him and doesn't have a plan for him. Like,
no, because I honestly believe people think Arteta's an idiot. Or they don't rate him as much as we do.
They do. They just need. The bottom line is most people just speak through the voice of banter. They can't have a proper conversation.
No, but I'm having conversations with people on a regular basis.
I'm saying those.
I'm having conversations with people on a regular basis, and some people who actually respect their footballing opinion, and they're telling me they're sitting there verbatim saying they have questions over Arteta being able to deliver with attackers. But at the same breath, they don't speak about the fact that he has not signed too many quality attackers in his time at Arsenal.
Again, that's my point. That's them not being objective. That's them speaking through banter. Because how can you say he's not going to do anything with his striker when he hasn't ever signed a proper number 9 striker? The last number 9 that Arteta had access to was Aubameyang. Aubameyang was the out-and-out 9 that Mikel Arteta, the last guy that Mikel Arteta had access to as an out-and-out 9. And what did he do with Aubameyang in that season?
He won the FA Cup.
He won the FA Cup with him. So my point again is...
Why do you have to mention he got rid of him?
No. He got rid of him eventually because of his attitude in the team. Yes, he did.
Because the problem is personal.
That is where I don't... Listen, this is where I give kudos to him rebuilding the squad from the inside out. We were in the mud as Arsenal. Look, let me tell you something. I watched Arsenal lift the Premier League back in the day. I was old enough to go to Highbury. So I've seen it. And I saw the rot in that team. So him doing what he did with those players, getting rid of those guys, of course it hurt me that we got rid of a number 9 like Aubameyang. But again, the season after he left us, what did he do? That was it for him. Like, where is he at now? Let's not paint that picture. My thing is, I'm glad that we saw him do it with the number 9. Now he has the number 9. Let's wait and see.
There you go. Let me get African Gunner's final words. African Gunner, you gotta go. What do you think is gonna happen now that we've gotten Gyökeres? What's next?
I mean, in terms of Viktor Gyökeres, he left his hotel on Monday, so that's how I knew that he was on the move, which I shared. And obviously, I shared that he was doing individual training with a personal trainer, which a lot of people were laughing at me, and that the program was individually given to him by Arsenal Football Club. We also knew that his brother followed Arsenal and that his brother's girlfriend followed Arsenal, and we're liking a lot of the social media posts. So, I think the next steps now is that he will fly over to do a medical, and it'll take another 3-4 days. There'll be some paperwork, and then he'll be in Singapore. I doubt that he's going to play, to be honest. I know a lot of people want to see him play. He probably will be around the team and he'll come out and maybe wave and stuff, but I doubt that he'll immediately play in the
He
first
probably
game.
wants to play.
He wants to play. He definitely wants to play, but it'll take a few days for him to have. He wants to have he wants to have a few games and trainings, and Arteta will obviously maybe probably play him against Spurs. I think that is probably the likely game that he'll have his first touch as a real Arsenal player, and I think it's going to be really exciting. I think when the official announcement happens, there's going to be Gabriel involved. There's going to be, Calafiori, different players involved. As you said, it's very obvious that the entire team is very excited by this. I think it was the first time I've ever seen that Arteta gave away a signing in a press conference when he said yet, because he's never said that before. Every time he's ever been asked that question, he's dismissed it completely. And this was the first time that he gave a hint. And also Gabriel gave a hint in his interview when he basically said, right, I'm not going to talk about it right now. It's not the right time, which means that there was going to be another time in the near future when he was going to talk about it, right? So I think, Arsenal fans can see that sometimes you got to be calm, and, deals are not as easy as we want them to be and as we hope them to be. As much as fans, we just want them to get over the line, and you know what I mean? We just think they're really easy, just pay the money, etc. People don't understand the nuances of, for example, factoring the deal, how we're going to finance the deal, how we're going to pay it over a certain amount of years, all these different details. But overall, I think, as Sol said, I mean, we haven't, it's not the first time we said this. I think in the first few weeks, Arsenal fans were ready to fire Berta, right? People were going at him, and it's like, come on, man, you know what I mean? He's
had a good window so far.
He's been excellent, and he's really shown how bad Edu has been. And I don't want to discredit Edu too much, because he did do somewhat of a good job to get us here, but he was never going to get us to the next level. And this is how we move as a big club. When we're talking about, going for the Mbappes and the Yamin Lamals and the top players of the world, that is what we're doing now. Arsenal Football Club can attract any football player, and as you can see, any football player in the world will tell other clubs that we are their priority and they're willing to wait for us. Hopefully, the next signing is a Eze, a Simmons, or Rodrygo. I think that would make it the best transfer window I've seen in my lifetime as an Arsenal fan. But I don't think that that's going to come anytime soon. I think that's probably going to drag out for another 2-3 weeks. You're probably going to see some sales like Fabio Vieira, Reece Nelson, Zinchenko. Trossard, which I can, share information, exclusively. There's a 1+1 year deal on the table for him. It's up to him and if he wants to take it. So really his career is now up to him. If he decides to go and take it and there's a good opportunity, right now, no club is willing to offer us the money that we want. But if it comes, we'll ask Trossard what he wants to do. And if he decides that he wants to move, that he'll be moved on. And then we'll probably see another winger come in. But really exciting times. I'm really excited for preseason. I think we're going to spank AC Milan tomorrow, maybe 3-1 is my hope. I just think there's a lot of energy going on in the fan base.
Isn't it tonight at 12:30?
No, it's midday. It's not midnight.
It's midday. I mean, depends on where you are.
I got mixed up with that as well, yeah.
I thought it was midnight.
Yeah, I wouldn't be doing the show if it was midnight. I would have been like, nah, I'm going to bed.
Well, yeah, exactly. So I'm really excited.
I was preparing to stay up. Okay, but yeah, guys, quickly, who's the next signing going to be before you go? Who do you think the next signing is going to be?
Are we saying Cristhian Mosquera is done?
Yeah, Cristhian Mosquera and Gyökeres are through the door.
What happened with Mosquera was we had paperwork issues and we were waiting for La Liga to confirm some of the details. So that's why his thing was obviously delayed. And then they leaked the picture by accident. So he's definitely on his way to Singapore now.
What was this picture that got leaked by accident? I haven't seen this. People keep talking about it.
You've never seen this? Cristhian
Mosquera? It's him in a chair, doing like an interview type thing.
Yeah, exactly.
How did you not see this?
I've not seen this. Where is this?
In the picture?
It's literally everywhere. Let me pull it up for you.
Just look up the Now Arsenal and type it in, and I'm sure you can just type in Mosquera and you'll find it. You can even find it on my page because I posted it 2 days ago when I mentioned that he was going to fly out.
Some things are wrong. Some things
can you see my screen? Can you see my screen?
Yes.
Oh, what? What opened that?
Yeah, so they thought that was Madueke, and they released it by accident, and we caught it, obviously, and yeah.
Wait, Arsenal put this out themselves?
Yes.
Arsenal's photographer.
Yeah, the Arsenal marketing team made a mistake, and they put this one picture out by accident when they released all the Madueke marketing material, and so we caught it. And obviously, we know that he signed, and there was just paperwork issues. There
It
was
was
nothing to
Getty
do with the
Images.
logo, etc. Yeah, exactly.
It was
So
Price. You know Price, the photographer.
yeah, exactly. But it's a marketing
Oh my
team. He's
God,
not. It's
that's
not a
hilarious.
photographer. It's a marketing team that has made a mistake. And I mean, look, he's obviously going to be. He's traveling, so he's been in London since Tuesday. He's with his agent. He's with his parents, and he's just waiting to travel. He's got the green light now, so he's going to be traveling.
Hey, you
He'll
guys
be
want to
in
laugh?
Singapore,
I seen
and
a
he'll
report
be
2 minutes
announced
ago.
tomorrow, probably.
Sorry, African Gunner. I seen
No,
a
no, go
report
ahead.
2 seconds. I seen a report 2 seconds ago. Spurs are interested in Rodrygo.
Yeah, I just said that about 5 minutes ago. Yeah, Spurs are interested.
Listen, they could be interested. I doubt he'll go to Spurs. Let's be honest, guys. Let's just have the Rodrygo conversation first before we go to Eze. I don't think we're gonna get Rodrygo. Do you guys think we're gonna get him?
Nah, that boat shipped ages ago.
I can't put any. This is football, man. I don't put anything past the transfer window.
Yeah.
We've seen it in the past. We've heard all kinds of things. We saw it, Thomas Partey come on the last day of the transfer window. We saw Mesut Ozil come on the last day of the transfer window. We saw an Ødegaard that you might say whatever you want to say about him now. Come on loan, leave, and everybody was like, "Oh, we're not getting him back," and comes back for 30. So, I don't. We've not had a bad relationship with Madrid when it comes to players. Arsenal and Madrid have always found a way around doing their deals. So I don't put anything past it. But my question to myself is he the difference maker? I thought the difference maker for me was the striker, and I agree still that it's a striker, and we've got a striker now, and I'm happy with that. And all I really need is major squad depth now. Where a player is out, the next person coming in is not miles away from that.
Yeah. Why do you do this, brother? We're having a conversation about Rodrygo. You start talking about completely different topic.
No, that's what I just did. I just talked about Rodrygo and Madrid. What did I just say? I said
because now you're talking. You're opening a whole can of worms of Arsenal not even signing another left winger. That's a mad thing.
No. That's not what I just said. I just said regardless of who we sign on the left wing, it has to be somebody who's not far off. Like if we're swapping player for player, they shouldn't be far off. They should be better. That's what I just simply said. You're not listening to what I said. I said Real Madrid and Arsenal have a good relationship, and I don't put it past them to find a deal. So I'm not going to write it off. You said it's not happening. I said I'm not going to write it off. And I said regardless of who we get, it should be somebody who is man for man, like talent for talent, close to each other. That's all I said. What part of that is not about Rodrygo?
No, the last part where you're saying I misinterpreted what you said. My apologies. As for, did you not say no left wing is needed 100%? Did you not say that?
I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
I swear you just said that. Am I tripping?
I said for me, what was the most important role was the striker. We signed the striker, which is good. And if we're going to get a left winger, whoever we get, the drop off should not be much from whoever is going to sub them because of our depth, our squad depth. That's what I said.
Well, I'm just saying the importance of us going and getting somebody who can play in the left wing or the 10 is important. And that's why Eze to me is very important. But as for Rodrygo, I don't know about you guys. Souls, you're a big fan of what do you call it, Barcelona. You don't rate Rodrygo as much as everybody else does.
Wait, excuse me. I've said this for about 5-6 seasons. I was the first one to rate Rodrygo.
No,
I've been fighting Madrid.
You fought me on stream and said he's not that different from Martinelli.
No. Don't try and spin it, because what I was saying is stat-based analysis will make any player look good. That was the argument. See how people don't comprehend nor listen. Yeah, I've always been taught 2 ears, 1 mouth. Listen first, then respond. That was the argument. And you can go back, because you can go back and watch the first point I said. If we're going to go down this road, let's do a stat-based analysis, right, on Rodrygo versus Martinelli. Because even if you do, go and see my tweets. I've actually said I rate his technical ability higher than Vinny. I said Rodrygo is more important to Real Madrid than Vinny is. I backed Rodrygo for years, donkey. Before everyone jumps on this hype of Rodrygo, I've been backing him for donkey years. Same with Valverde. I'm like one of the only of the people that actually rates Valverde as highly as they do. And I've said this for donkey's years. Like, Rodrygo transforms Arsenal. Like, it doesn't matter what people think. He genuinely, on that left wing, transforms what we do. He is a massive level raiser and demands respect. Do I think it'll happen? I don't think so. But saying that, I'm actually happy with either Eze or Rodrygo coming in, because they both solve the same kind of problem. Obviously, Rodrygo does more, but Eze does solve the problem of feeding and being able to be creative, as Gyökeres needs. Whereas the thing with Martinelli, I do think he's got good abilities, and his crossing is actually underrated. I do think he does cross the ball well. We've just not had someone to get to the end of him. But Eze and what Rodrygo can do in terms of their multifaceted ability to be creative is something Gyökeres will feed on. But that's not to say Martinelli won't improve, because it's one of the first times that we're actually giving him a number 9 as well. And and also what you think with Gyökeres as well is he's a left channel runner as well. So I do think Martinelli's game with Gyökeres will improve. So it's just going to be interesting to see which direction or how ambitious the club's looking to be. Because like Dale said, don't write it off. I don't think it's likely, but you never know.
Look, see, Eze for me is a doable deal because of the whole 3 years, release clause, 68 million. You can pay 23 million now.
Apparently, they're not willing to honor that.
I don't know. I mean, I'm just going based on. I don't know the final thing now whether they want to honor it or not. I'm just saying that would even be an easier. Even if they say okay, pay 68 million now, they're still going to have to amortize some part of that deal. If you want to take 35, 38, 40 million now, take the rest over 2 years, whatever the case is, there'll be some level of amortization with the payment. What I'm saying is the Eze deal can be done and the left winger can still be done. But if Rodrygo is going for 100 million, then I don't think we'll do the Rodrygo deal.
No. It'll be Eze or Rodrygo. It won't be both.
No. What I'm saying is, if I'm the one,
oh my God.
let me explain. If I'm the one, I would do the Eze deal if there's going to be amortization where I can pay something now and spread the rest over years, and then do another deal with another left winger, because there are other left wingers.
You just don't have the money. It's one or the other, regardless of how you should.
I would love it if we can go and get Rodrygo and Eze, but the reality is I don't think we're going to have the money to get Rodrygo. I think Rodrygo is an absolute beast, and his goals and his quality from that left flank, the ability that he just scores bangers and good goals on a regular basis. He's not one of those guys who takes penalties. He can take free kicks and corners if needed. Also, he's really good at creating and scoring. We could utilize him on the right and on the left easily, and play him even if we needed to up top in a case there was an emergency. But right now, it's just too much money. 100 million euros they want. And his wages, he wants close to 300k. I just don't see us going and spending that money with Kai Havertz, Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, Gyökeres.
Can I throw something at you?
All these guys at the club. It just doesn't financially. I don't think the club can justify it. So, I think he's going to end up. I think he's going to end up at Liverpool, and I think he's going to end up being the Mo Salah replacement eventually. The guy who takes over the mantle as the top, creator for Liverpool and goal scorer.
Can I throw something at you? Would you take an Eze and a Lookman together?
I don't really.
Or Eze and Simmons together. 50 million.
Eze is just the same thing. There's no point for signing both.
No. But I'm saying again, we're talking about, which is why I said 3 major issues we had last season. We did not have a striker and their squad depth. If we're saying Martinelli and Trossard are not good enough, right now, in quotes, for us, right? We're looking at that left wing. Right? We're looking at the left wing. I'm saying, it's a yes or no, would you take Eze and Simmons if it's possible?
No.
Eze and Simmons is pretty much the same thing. You're right.
You wouldn't take that if that was possible right now.
No, because it just doesn't make any sense.
If we're going to sign those 2 players,
I'm saying you don't have any Martinelli and Trossard anymore. Hear what I said again. Martinelli and Trossard are out the door.
If Martinelli and Trossard both leave, you get Eze and Rodrygo.
No, I'm saying because of the money. We said Rodrygo is 100 million. Eze is 68.
Yeah, but we can get about.
The reason why I'm saying. Let me respond quick. The reason why I'm saying this is because in the case we do not sell Trossard or Martinelli, we can't afford to go and get.
I'm painting a picture, Egal. I said
if we sell both, if we sell both,
if we sell both of them, let's assume we sell Martinelli for 40 million or 60 million,
which is unrealistic.
No, which is
unrealistic. You're not going to get no money from these.
You get Trossard at 25 or 30 million. Fine, you get 90 million. You can't get both Eze and Rodrygo for 90 million. But
we can already get one of them without selling anyone.
Hey, your point is pointless because you're giving us a hypothetical that's not realistic. I'm sorry, bro. It's not realistic.
How is it not realistic to say?
Because number one, Arsenal are not looking to sell Martinelli. Number
I'm not
two,
saying that they're looking to.
number
You're
two,
talking about the realism of it. I'm saying if we didn't have any left wingers right now,
then of course,
and we can only afford. Listen, and we can only afford a certain amount of money. Listen to the question, Igal. If we had endless bank, then you could go get Rodrygo and go get Eze. Fine, but you don't have enough money for Rodrygo and Eze. Would you take a Simmons and Eze to replace Trossard and Martinelli on the left? Is what I'm asking.
Okay, let's talk about Simmons and Eze then, because we've kind of moved on from Rodrygo. I would take Eze over Xavi Simons, and I think they're both very similar players. And to have both of them coming into the team would be kind of overkill, especially with Ethan in the squad.
That's my other problem. It's like you've got way too many samey sames, and I don't like samey sames. I like some variety in my attack. That's why I actually really like the Eze and Martinelli combo, because when you need a transition team and you've got Martinelli, when you need someone who can slow down and actually be a bit more creative and a bit more technical, you've got Eze. That's why I like that dynamic. I wouldn't personally ever go for Eze and Xavi Simons to be your left wing, or even both be your 10 options, because it's just, when I need a game changer, there isn't a game changer, because you're literally subbing the same thing on.
Also, Xavi Simons probably going to end up at Chelsea.
Again, I don't care about all those other facts. I said if we didn't have Trossard and Martinelli, if you don't have those players at all, and your options in the market because of your budget was to either get a Lookman and Eze or get Simmons and Eze, you can't afford the Rodrygo because of the price tag from Madrid. Would you take those two to replace these two? The same way we have Zubimendi and Ødegaard replacing Partey and Jorginho, would you take these two to replace those? Is the question. That's the question I'm asking. I'm not saying that, he's going to Chelsea or he's not. I don't, all of that. Let's just forget all of that. Would you take those players? That's all I'm saying.
Well, what I would rather do is get Eze and go get a Rafael Leão, because it'll cost you the same anyway.
Yeah, that's that. Now you're answering the question. Like you're still talking. You're saying you would go get somebody else and get Eze. I'm saying I'd get.
You know who's still on the possibility? Your boy Leão. He's on less than 105
Is he playing tomorrow?
He's on less than 500. Yeah, we are. He's on less than 105k a week, and his transfer fee would be less than
60 million, man. It's fucking
would be less than 60 million euros. So he would be going for a similar price to Madueke, and his wages would be around 100k a week. He would be one of our lower wages.
He'll probably want 200, like, if we're being realistic. But
no, but bro, he's only on 105 right now. Why would he want?
He wants more at AC Milan anyway, so it'll be 150 to 180k a week. But either way, the whole overall deal that
I don't really rate Leão.
No, that's fine. I rate him highly. I think he's a sensational player. You know, he's one of the best alternatives to go for instead of Rodrygo, in my opinion.
What about Anthony Gordon? We keep hearing about Anthony Gordon.
I like the player. I think he's good, but I just think he's the same as what we've got. But he's an improvement on Martinelli in some ways.
Let's hear Dylan. What are you saying? Input on the left wing. What do you think is going to happen?
In honesty, nothing. But
no, seriously, you've given up. You're saying we're not going to sign a left winger?
Yeah, like I said, I think I know my club. I think we've reached peak now. I don't see anything else happening.
You don't see us signing another player?
I don't think we do. But if we did, I'd obviously be over the moon. I think, like I said earlier, I think I'd be the cherry on the cake. If
Arteta did confirm there's more signings.
Did he confirm that though?
He basically said there's more to come.
What did he say?
Let me go find.
But more to come could be Gyökeres and Mosquera, and that's technically more to come.
Yeah, exactly.
Let me go find it. You continue though. What you got to say, bro?
He's If we could get an Eze, I mean, Rodrygo's a dream, I think. But if we got an Eze, I'd be over the moon. I mean, I'm not gonna lie. A month ago, it was like Eze's an Arsenal player. You know what I mean? It was really weird. It was like Eze's 1 million saying going to be an Arsenal player, and then it all just went flat, fell flat on its face. Yeah, so. I'm really given up on the Eze. I'd still quite like to see him at Arsenal, but yeah. I mean, who else out there? I mean, you lot like Rafael Leão. I've never been a fan of him at all in any way, shape, or form. I don't think he's any good. But there's obviously also, I mean, who else is out there? The left wing market isn't great, is it? Realistically, but I mean, the main target for me should just be Rodrygo. He's on his way out of Madrid. Madrid are actively looking for someone to take him. So. As far as Arsenal, just raise that money, get Fabio gone, Martinelli or Trossard, one of them get them gone. Like, We don't want Madueke to be the starting left winger that we're relying on every game. Put it that way.
Facts. Arteta said there is still a long time in the window. We are seeking in terms of numbers. We are short, and we want to improve the depth and the quality of the squad. So it didn't really give away anything with that right there. But if I do go to some of the tweets from reliable sources in the last couple of days, they have been saying that Eze is still a possibility. And today we even got a report saying that where is it? Where is that report about Eze? Where is it? 1 second. There was a report a couple of days ago actually that Arsenal would still like to add one more creative player. This came from Fabrizio Romano. Already took place with Eze's agents, but none with Crystal Palace so far. While the Gunners are informed about Xavi Simon's situation. Oh yeah, that was pretty much him just speaking about Xavi Simons and Eze once again. So
the Eze deal, like the issue that's kind of happening from people that I've spoken to, is Steve Parish is no longer willing to take a structured deal. He wants the entire release clause paid in one. That's the reason why a lot of the Eze talk has kind of slowed down.
Yeah, but again, that's the reason why they said Arsenal are also Andrea Berta was looking to negotiate not even the release clause, but a fee for Eze that they would agree on, and then they can amortize part of it. Which means you might rather say, okay, if you're saying 68 million, we'll give you 72 million, but we'll give you 40 now and pay the rest over 3 years. Like that way, it's no longer a release clause of 68 million down payment one time. You're paying slightly higher for the player, but then you are amortizing half of it. You know,
did you guys see
it's what we did with Zubimendi, and like I know what you're trying to say.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That's why it slowed down a lot. Like for
did you see the hand of Ozil?
But we haven't approached Crystal Palace at all yet. According to all reports, Arsenal has not spoken to Crystal Palace.
No, because they already know the situation is Steve Parish.
I know, but I'm saying again, officially, you're agreeing with me. We haven't spoken to them at all, so we don't know what the agreement will be when they speak, because they might meet tomorrow and it's like, you know what? Yeah, you're cool. Let's just do it this way instead.
The hopes of Andre Paris picking, making sales and picking up the phone to Steve Parish, if develops further, we'll make sure we update you. Oh, there you go. So,
and again, it's the agents. You have to look at the agents. The agents
you have to communicate. The agent is the same agent as one of our Arsenal players already.
Yeah, I know what I mean by the agents. Igal is like agents get so exact. So, for example, Crystal Palace will tell Eze's agents what they want to do. We don't want it to be amortized anymore. We want 68 million. So when Arsenal has already spoken to the agent of Eze, they will come back and say, well, hey, Crystal Palace is not willing right now to take 28, 20, 20. They want it one time. Okay, what if we come in and we say we want to pay a little more on this, and then they start before you can actually go to the club?
All right, let me just read this tweet and then we can talk about this. So when speaking about Eze, he also mentioned that the future was linked to Ethan, hence my statement. Until a formal approach is made, proceed with caution. Then you also had this part here where he said, since the talks glowing reference from Arsenal players, Arteta is obsessed and is in direct communication with directly communicated this to the board. So he notified the board that he really wants Eze. So he's going to be pushing to get that signing. Also, my understanding is that personal terms have never been an issue. One source said he would sign a 5-year deal tomorrow. So that doesn't seem to be an issue. Also, he's basically told Chelsea and Bayern his preference is Arsenal. And the question is just how long will the player wait? Informal dialogue has taken place, but Crystal Palace, but nothing further. There's been nothing further along. This is the part that really set a lot of people into meltdown, which has also been reported by other people that it's not necessarily the case. But if hand of Arsenal saying it, then Arsenal will focus on sales, and hopefully sale of Trossard opens the door. That is a little concerning, because imagine if we can't sell Trossard and we don't end up getting Eze because we haven't sold Trossard. We're going to go into the next season with just Gyökeres and Madueke as our only attacking signings. It's not really screaming massive improvement in the attack for me. And then he finally goes on to saying that he hopes that Andrea makes a sale and picks up the phone to Parish and of course, then goes on to say that there is a deal to be done, but there is still a deal to be done, and Eze wants the deal, so hopefully we can get it done. It's not asking for much, but the rest of it is kind of opinion based, not really reporting news. I really do hope Eze happens. Last time I checked, the release clause and the installments were 20-something million per year for 3 years. And
it's less than that. It's like 68 million.
And that's really reasonable. If Palace have changed the demands and they're now making it, we want all the money up front, it really does kind of mess up our plans.
Yeah, no, I know what you mean. I agree. The thing is, yeah, it looks like a no-brainer, but I do see to an extent whether, because at the end of the day, Arsenal, we've struggled to make money lately. Obviously, we make so much money off of things outside of player sales, so that's why we managed to have such good windows. But while selling no one, we are going to struggle. Even just from a squad perspective and numbers perspective, we do need to get rid of people before we can make that next step. So, I'm with what we've had so far. I'm happy to be patient for a bit, wait until we get home from Asia, where it's cup rolls around, and wait and see what happens with a player like Eze. I'm not in a rush right now. I'd love it. I think we need him, but obviously we've had a great window so far. So
how much GA in the Premier League does Gyökeres get in 2025?
He's not going to wear the number 9, guys. He's going to be the number 14. The 9 stuff is he will be Arsenal's number 14.
How do you know this?
You watch, mate. He'll be number 14.
Because they're not ruthless.
I think Jesus should tell him the number.
No, but he won't though. We know this.
They won't. Mikel Arteta has too much respect for Jesus to take the 9.
Yeah, to do that.
And it's a big striker signing. He'll give him the number 14. But
eventually, he'll become the number 9. Obviously, if he took the 10, that'd be like Harry Kane vibes. I don't like that.
Mate, I'm sorry. Madueke hasn't taken the 10. Yeah? That means
he's taking the number 20.
And mosquera ain't taking the 10. Someone's got to take that 10. And the 14 is going to be available. If they give Gyökeres that 14, best believe we're getting a Rodrygo or Eze. Because there has to be someone to take the number 10. You know what I'm saying? Someone's got to take the 10. You know what I mean?
Relax. Anyways, go ahead. What are you saying? How many goals?
Who?
For Gyökeres, guys.
Me? Oh, Gyökeres? I've already said. I said in my video today, I think he gets minimum 25. All comps.
I agree. I think 25 to 30 is attainable all comps.
What, just goals or assists as well?
All
He
comps.
doesn't really get this, I'm not going to lie. Just, 30 GA. I think he gets 30 GA.
30 GA all comps.
Yeah.
Okay, that's reasonable. I think he gets 20 in the league.
Ooh. 20 GA in the league.
I actually do think
20 goals?
Maybe a hot take to a degree. Unless Salah has an absolute madness like he did last season, or Haaland has one of his mad seasons, I actually think he's going to be up there for the Golden Boot.
20 goals?
20 and more. Minimum 20, I think. And that's just goals, not assists.
Hey, fair.
Minimum, like bare minimum, I think he'll get. Don't forget, Havertz has had 15, and Havertz has missed like a donkey's amount of chances. So I can't see why Gyökeres couldn't improve that by like a bit more.
Hey, Gyökeres hat-trick versus Man United.
He's going to be straight up. Let me score. Like, he's never going to be looking for all of that.
Gyökeres hat-trick versus Man United will hit different, guys.
Usually the strikers who score the most goals miss the most chances anyway. So
yeah, Haaland misses loads. Yeah.
Haaland misses the majority of Ollie Watkins, Haaland. Go look at all their numbers. They miss.
Now you know what? People keep asking. We gotta entertain this. Tottenham have entered the race for Rodrygo. So what? Man United entered the race for Rodrygo. It doesn't mean they're gonna get him. And honestly, if Spurs got Rodrygo, I wouldn't be scared. It would be like a broke guy having a Lamborghini. You can't put gas in it. What use does it have?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
See, but here's the thing, though. Like again, this is why I said I can.
One second. This was attacking you. Lookman scored 6 goals at Leicester, less than 15,000 minutes. He is much better now. He will get 15 goals if we get him. There's no guarantee.
Not in, again. See, but then we're doing this whole Gyökeres will get 30 GA, 20 GA. But Lookman last season did very well as well. So if there's no guarantee for Lookman, there's no guarantee for Gyökeres. We have to have the same strength across the board for all the players coming from outside.
The difference is Lookman. The difference is between Gyökeres and Lookman. When it comes down to it, Lookman's coming from a Gasperini system. Gasperini's system, the players don't tend to translate. We'll see how he does it in his next
Can we say
location.
the same? Can we say the same thing about Portuguese strikers? They don't translate when they come to the Premier League. A lot of them haven't. Outside Falcao,
No, but
can you tell
what
me
he's doing,
striker?
what he's doing is great, but it's not like outstanding. What Gyökeres is doing is he's at 1.5 per goal. He's competing for a European Golden Boot outside of a top 5 league. That's unheard of.
Okay, so again, Igal, my thing is
That's unheard of. You admit that. That's unheard of.
Yes, I'm not saying it's normal, but I agree it's unheard of. But then again, you have to have the same yardstick across the board. You can't give one person and say just because of this they will succeed, or this guy coming from here, Gasperini. All of that is this. This is a footballer who knows his job. Who, if he wants to play for Arsenal and Arsenal gets him and he can fit into the system, he knows what he needs to do to be in the system. You do your job.
Okay, are you guys saying you guys would want Lookman? Because I don't.
I don't.
Dylan?
Sorry, Lookman, no chance.
All right. Coming back to this, how many Premier League GA? I would say Premier League GA 30.
Yeah, that's about right. Premier League, oh, I don't know.
Premier League. Say he gets like 21 goals and like 9 assists.
It's the first year in English football. Well, Premier League.
Premier League GA.
I can see him getting 20 minimum.
He can get a lot of assists at Arsenal.
I just don't see him being played that way. But yeah, potentially.
Bro, in the final third, he could lay it off to Martinelli or Saka on a regular basis.
Yeah.
Anyways, you guys.
I don't care about the assists. I don't care about the assists for the striker.
Hey, Gonto,
I don't think
you guys don't want to answer the question, but I answered it for you. As for why do you guys want Leão? Leão's no better than Rashford.
No. Don't
that's hot. I don't rate Leão at all, but not better than Rashford is a hot one.
No. Leão is sensational, man.
Oh, come on. Let's be serious now.
I don't rate Leão. Leão is an inconsistent purple patch player. He'll have
no. Put him in a team like ours. Trust me, man. That guy's quality.
What do you do to get the best out of Leão then?
This guy said Lookman and Glock 9 both have unfinished business. Bring them both. I don't want too many guys.
What does Lookman have? I don't wait. What unfinished? I mean, I can understand maybe but
Lookman,
actually I don't even understand.
Everton, Fulham, Leicester.
Lookman played in the Premier League and then got
Lookman played for 3 clubs in the Premier League and never really kicked
it off. And
so
then
what about Gyökeres? Like I can't see what Brighton.
Yeah, Brighton as well. He said it himself. And even Gyökeres has said it himself. This is not a case of whether or not people are speculating. The guy says, "I want to come back to the Premier League."
The number one thing is confidence.
Yeah, he's literally saying, "I'm one of the best up there. I'm sitting at the table with these guys, and I want to be there." So the guy has said it himself. So this is not something that people are speculating. Lookman hasn't said it, but my thing is, if we're going to be looking at squad depth, which is the second thing I think we had a major problem with last season, I think we look at certain other players as well. Eze, I think we should get, and then we look at certain other players,
Fair enough. We're going to wrap it up here. Big up to all the super chatters. Big up to everyone in the comment section. Really do appreciate it, guys. You guys have been great. Thank you, boys, for joining us. This has been, it's not an emergency like everyone says. Every time Lee's doing a stream, there's no emergency. We're happy today. No dig at Lee. That's literally my boy. But he's been literally saying everything's an emergency. There's no need to be this is a happy stream. If anything, we're excited. We're all excited. Every Arsenal fan's happy. Big transfer update. Hopefully there's more to come. And to me, I'm just going to end it off with one final question. To make this window perfect, what do you need?
Eze
or Rodrygo.
That's it.
I need Eze and any left winger that we can get if Rodrygo is not possible. And any good left winger that is better than Martinelli right now. Martinelli, I would keep Martinelli, sell Trossard.
So I would say perfect window would be finish off Gyökeres, Mosquera, and Eze. And am I greedy?
Yeah.
Am I greedy if we get one more?
Oh, one more? No. I thought you said Eze and Rodrygo.
Am I greedy if I say if we can sell one of Trossard or Martinelli, try to bring in one more attacker?
Wait, on top of an Eze or Rodrygo, do you mean? Or
I'm saying if we bring in Eze and we sell
Yeah.
Trossard, could we then afford to bring in one more player?
no, because it's dependent on the sale of Trossard anyway.
So say, wait, Eze's dependent on the sale of Trossard.
I think
Yeah,
so. I think
I
that's
do, yeah.
also a contingent to why we've not.
You know what? I'm not gonna lie to you. So far, it's been a great window. At this moment in time, I'll give it a 6 or 7. If we can go and get Eze, that makes it an 8 or a 9.
100%.
You know, I love how we moved the goalpost down, but it's cool. Last season, everybody said once we get a striker, that's going to be an 8 out of 10.
No, by the way, I can happily say because I said I wanted that winger.
Everybody said it last season.
No.
If we get a striker, it's going to be 8
Bro,
out of 10.
if we get Eze, if we get okay, say for example, if we get Eze and Rafael Leão or Eze and Anthony Gordon to end off the window on top of everything else that we've done, that is a 10 out of 10 window. We brought
that's perfect.
We brought in 3 attackers that are difference makers. And Zubimendi.
But I've not changed the goalpost because I said I wanted a left winger. I said that's key.
I'm just saying, we set the bar too low for 10 out of 10 sometimes. I've done it in the past. I've done it in the past. I've called.
I think Rodrygo can make it a 10 out of 10 for me.
Bro,
that's a superstar signing.
Yeah, you know what? The standards are rising, and we need to call it as it is. Anyways, we're out of here. Dylan, you good? You got anything else?
You know what? I'm really annoyed because I had a Gyökeres top, but I lent it to my mate, and I wanted to have it on all day. You know what I'm saying? That's going to pick up on the weekend. I got a football tournament on the weekend. I'm going to have it on.
Yo, Faye, is
my Gyökeres top? Yeah, ready.
Bro, this guy's getting paid by Lookman. Look at this. More Lookman propaganda. Lookman has 15 and 5 in the Italian league. That number is twice better than Rodrygo. Bro, stop it. Lookman is nowhere near the player Rodrygo is.
He's not saying he is near the player, but he's saying the stats show differently. Stats can make any player look good. You have to understand when somebody puts stuff like that up. He's simply saying, what was
Lookman is the talisman
what was Rodrygo's stats last season? What was Rodrygo's stats? Pull it up. Pull up Rodrygo's stats. Again, this is what
last season was poor.
He was poor last season. Yes, he's a good player.
Brian Mbeumo was one of Brentford's best players last season and put 20 GA in the league. 20 plus G in the league. Is he a better player than Rodrygo?
We're not comparing better players. We're talking. He mentioned stats specifically. That's what.
Yes, twice the numbers Rodrygo has. Is that make him a better player?
It's the implication of it, though. He's implying.
No. It's the interpretation of it. You are interpreting it that he's saying he's a better player. He's saying the stats that Lookman had. If you give that stats to Arsenal, 15 and 6 goals. If we had that last season in the left winger. And if you have the stats that Gyökeres had last season with us, do you think we win the league or not? Yes, we do.
Hey, are you Nigerian?
Hold on. Yes, I am. If you had Rodrygo stats last season, do you think you win the league or not? You don't. You don't. No, it's not even about that. My point is, take Lookman's stats from last season, plug it into Arsenal. Take Rodrygo's stats from last season, plug it into Arsenal. Do you win the league with those stats last season? You don't. With Rodrygo's stats, you don't. You know.
Yeah, but Rodrygo.
What's the chances Lookman's stats translate?
No, I'm saying again, while we're going by what they both did in their individual leagues. Rodrygo did what he did in the Spanish league. Lookman did what he did in the Italian league. 15 and 5. Rodrygo did 11 in total GA or something. I'm saying take those 2 stats and plug them into Arsenal of last season. Where does that put us in the ranking of the league? Yes, Rodrygo is a better player if you look at him. The question now is, will those numbers go up this season for Rodrygo, even if we get him? And will Lookman maintain that number or drop? Again,
it doesn't matter because Lookman's going to Inter. But guys, we are 3 likes away from 100. Please do like the video right now.
There's too many of you in here. Should be 100 already.
Yeah, take a second, hit that like button right now. We're gonna wrap it up. We're gonna send you over to another channel, and I need you guys to go make fun of them. Who should we send you over to make fun of? Should we send you over to Lee? Yeah, we're gonna send you over to Lee. Tell Lee gonna hashtag quadruple, and he's just gonna lose his mind. Or you know what? Just say Egal raid. I'm just gonna send you. You know what? Lee already is watching. He's not talking about Arsenal. He's talking about the women's team. Let me see if somebody else is live. Who's live right now? There has to be like somebody live that doesn't have too many followers. You know what? I'm gonna send you guys over to who's live right now. Kaz is live. Never Foul is live. I'm gonna send you guys over to Never Foul. Guys, go to Never Foul. Hashtag Egal Raid and tell him Gyökeres is gonna win Arsenal the league. Tell him Gyökeres is gonna win Arsenal the league. Anyways, guys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Big up everyone who's joined us today. You guys are the best. You already know what it is. Catch you on the next video. Love for the love. Peace.
Love.